tell a story.
Good morning. My name
We
is Joshua
tell
Roman. I'm
a
the membership manager at UCA. And I want to take a moment just to reflect on what membership means to me. And if you will, I'd like to begin with a passage from the Christian tradition that I find very near and dear to my heart. This is 1 Peter 3 8 through 9. Finally, all of you have unity of spirit, sympathy, love for one another, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or harm for harm, but on the contrary, repay with a blessing. It is for this that you were called, that you might inherit a blessing. Now, this verse is very special to me because it is the passage that inspired me to write Covenant Together. That is the song that you heard earlier in the service at the beginning. The writer of First Peter is talking to a particular small first century community in hopes to encourage them as they seek to live out lives that are more inclusive of those around them. This is countercultural to the oppressive and domineering world that is the Roman Empire. And I found this meaningful because it reminds me of what we are doing here at UUCA. That the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis is this groundbreaking congregation, both in the UU movement and in Annapolis, as we seek to live out our faith values and create the beloved community here today. And this is only made possible through an active commitment of membership. Now, I have served as membership coordinator and now manager over the past 3 years. And while UCA has been around since 1956, I want to at least share just a few points during my short tenure that have been so meaningful to me. The first is just how much I have enjoyed hearing the stories of new people as they come and find our inclusive, welcoming, and affirming community. A place where people of all orientations, all genders, multicultural, able bodied, we welcome all and affirm all here. Another thing is the stories I hear in the inquirers classes. Some of them, here are just a few quotes I just want to add. I can bring my heart and mind to this church. Or this one I love. This church really cares for the health, safety, and well being of my children. Or another one, which I identify with a lot. I can truly be myself in this faith community. And I have watched others, including myself, grow spiritually through the relationships that are fostered here, through our worship, through classes like the eighth principle classes on anti racism, through our small group ministry. And for me, it's the people who have joined the church in a commitment to say, I'm going to love people first and understand second. And that understanding second comes with a seeking. It comes with I will do the work of learning. An example of this is those who may have been hesitant about our anti-racist work and who have done the classes, the book studies, and now are uh, great supporters, they're activists, they are involved. To me, just hearing that, seeing that happen is our third principle in action, the encouragement of spiritual growth in our congregations. We celebrate church membership, excuse me, not only because it feels good, but also in the ways that it carries us through difficult times. And I saw this firsthand during the aftermath of the murder of Wendy Winters, in which myself grieving was was able to come together with this congregation, and we all carried each other through. We were all supporting each other in this moment of huge trauma and sadness. Another, when the pandemic set in 14 months ago, is this congregation that looked for ways to help and do something. And one great example is the Woodside Gardens Food Pantry, and how that began because one member uh, was taking the food out of a small pantry set up by one of our youth and was bringing it to the Woodside Gardens community, particularly African American community that has been marginalized in Annapolis. And when that was brought to the staff attention, that became actually an opportunity to serve. And the small groups have truly stepped up in supporting this ministry now. So, over the next few moments, you're going to hear from other members as they share their experience, as they share why uh, they've been a member of UCA for so long. We're going to look at uh, membership through the eras, uh, those who joined this year, those who joined 10 years, 20 years, 25, and 50 years. And my hope is that as you hear these testimonies in their reflections, that you would think about the joys and sorrows, the victories, the challenges, the relationships, uh, the work that has been done in this community that has affected your life and those around you. And if you're new here, I hope that this will deepen your relationship with UCA and that you will consider getting to know us further. So as we move forward, we continue to covenant together as life calls us on. This is membership through the eras.
Here in reverence now we gather for the blessings we have known, with a pledge to one another that we journey not alone. Joy and sorrow make us wise.
Hi, my name is Chevon,
All that lives
and I've been
and
blessed
dies,
with finding
love
UCA
calls
during the
us
most challenging time in history. This was during the height of the pandemic last October. While my family and I have searched for a church home for quite some time now, it wasn't until I was personally met with open arms at UUCA that I knew I would want to engage further with this beloved community. I recognized immediately that we shared the same values and universal ethics for peace, equality, and unconditional love for all sentient beings. UUCA supports who I am as an individual and has even provided space to operate my small Black business in spiritual health and wellness. Because of this, I've been able to assist in raising the vibration for not only myself during a most troublesome period in life, but for others as well. And for those I've had the pleasure of connecting with in our beloved community. I decided to join as a member because I really do believe that we have individual assignments in the collective whole. And UUCA encourages and provides the space to foster such growth and expansion. While there's been many memories and memorable moments already in this short amount of time, the most special has been learning that in a predominantly white community, there's a collective group within this church home fighting and advocating for my people, Black, Brown, Indigenous, LGBTQIA+ individuals. This is something that I personally hold close to my heart and work within the community and beyond to support and bring awareness to. When I think of UUCA, I think of love, supports, community, learning opportunities, growth, dedication, passion, commitment. I could go on and on. I am most grateful for finding UUCA and UUCA finding me. I look forward to building a future together.
Words and deeds of those before us, wake and hear to keep us strong. Lend our voices in the chorus of creation's living song. Courage bids us lift our eyes upward to the shining skies.
My family and I have been members of UUCA for 10 years now. When I think back on those first few visits, I don't remember the sermons or the songs. I just remember an immense feeling that I was home. I sat with my family and observed the authenticity and the vulnerability with which our ministers spoke. And I burst into quiet tears of relief and joy at being in a place where I didn't have to pretend. I didn't have to say I'm fine when asked how I was doing. I didn't have to be okay. I could come to church no matter what kind of day I was having. I could sit in the back or out in the narthex if I didn't feel strong enough to sit up front near the chalice in what became our usual spot. I could cry in public and I wouldn't be labeled fragile or sensitive. It was okay to be my vulnerable, empathic, emotional self. In fact, it wasn't just okay. It was expected, even celebrated. I was home, but it wasn't like any other home I had ever had before. It was the home that I had craved for so long, the home I needed, and the home that needed me too. I've taken part in many offerings on my journey over the last 10 years. I've facilitated faith formation classes and helped run Camp Eagle. I've sung with the worship ensemble and boogied down on family dance night. I've listened and shared at Coming to the Table and the anti-racism reading groups. And I've written postcards to voters and marched to protest violence and oppression. Every single one of those activities has made a lasting impression on me. But I think the thing that has infiltrated my being the deepest, that has changed the way I interact with the world, is the emotional literacy that I have learned here at UUCA. From the life coaching ministered through Awake to the deep listening of the Hers Day group, people in our beloved community have taught me so much about how to just be a compassionate human, especially to myself. The kind of radical compassion I have experienced and learned at UUCA is unmatched elsewhere in my life. It has changed my relationship with myself and my relationships with my family and friends. It has helped me see that we are all just human. We are enough, and everyone should be able to be their authentic self in all of their identities wherever they go. I've learned how important it is to embrace one's whole self and to understand and appreciate and embrace the whole selves of others around me. That is something for which I will never stop fighting, and I am so grateful to be a part of a community that will wage that fight as well. Even though it can be so hard to have compassion for those who disagree with you, it is still the right path. Are we perfect? No way. Can we do it better? Absolutely. But I am so happy to have found an authentic community with people who are just as perfectly imperfect as me, and I am forever grateful to those who showed me the way here. Thank you.
Loyal guides in love and duty, guides with a trusted love. Blessed are they whose inward beauty shares their path of truth and right. Honor is their earthly prize. By their works we realize great calls us on. Great calls us on.
Good morning. I have been asked to speak about my relationship with UUCA over the last 20 years. 20 years ago, I was very lonely and I was looking for an opportunity to connect with community. I recalled that when I was in college, I went to UU Church, and I remember so appreciating the value of that organization, values of that organization. So I decided to look for a UU church locally, and I found UUCA. And when I went into UUCA, I was very warmly welcomed. I was introduced to Ginny Klocko, and she showed me around UUCA and helped me become familiar with the organization. She also gave me wonderful plants for my yard. Thank you so much, Ginny. During my introduction with other new members, I met a very best friend, Nancy Eaton. We remain very close to this day, having shared many good times together, to include a trip to Germany to explore our heritage. Dear friend, I'm looking for more opportunities in the future. I wanted to become part of a women's covenant group, and at the time, covenant groups were filled up. So Susan Carlson, who was the intern minister then, asked if I would consider being a facilitator. I recognized that my relationship with folks at UUCA was bringing a lot of positivity to my life. So I asked Susan if I could start a group about the power of positive thinking. And she thought that was a good idea. And I started the group, and that group met for several years, sharing life stories and supporting one another through life's events, all of life's events. Another area of support that I really have appreciated at UUCA, when there are marches in DC or in Annapolis that are related to our values, UUCA always provides an opportunity for a group to gather and go to that event. The first march I went to, and I've been to several, was the Women's March in the early 2000s. I had a friend visiting and she really wanted to join us. She was warmly welcomed into the group of UUs, and she so appreciated being with them because she too was a UU, and she appreciated the opportunity to take part in that. And although I haven't been to this service for a while, another service that I used to really enjoy was the animal blessings. I happily towed my golden retrievers and met other people with their dogs. Not sure how happy my dog was about it, but I certainly enjoyed that. And I even had a friend who used to come in town with her golden retriever specifically for that service. When I contemplate about the growth and the impact that UUCA has had on me, one area really jumps out. When I started in 2001, I thought that I had an understanding of the definition of racist. UUCA helped me recognize that I had a long ways to go. They provided several platforms for me to learn and to become educated. They had groups like Building the World We Dream About, Becoming Beloved Community. They had book reads. They had excellent speakers. All of these opportunities gave me the knowledge and the recognition that I had to grow, and I still have to grow, and that's another good thing that they taught me. And they provided a support system that has personally helped me participate in very difficult conversations about recognizing racist actions. I am so very grateful to have learned from this and to have had this exposure, particularly in the world today. I'm also thankful that in a world of social distancing, UUCA staff are providing an opportunity for us to connect in such a meaningful way. So in the past 20 years, I have found community. I have found a sense of belonging. I have found new friends. I have had overwhelming support for my values and the opportunity to grow, to become a better human being. I thank you all.
Why Do You Come, John? An excerpt from Walking Toward Morning, a piece written by Victoria Safford. Why do you come, John? I knew a man once who came to church every Sunday. You might find nothing remarkable in this, but think of it. A man who came every single Sunday, and it was not that he lacked other things to do. I knew him only in the last years of his life, a birthright Unitarian, a retired geologist, who, when he was not at church, was a volunteer for Amnesty International, for the local food bank, for the American Civil Liberties Union, for the Family Planning Clinic and the AIDS Project, for the university district we were part of, for the Audubon Society, and for a splendid community chorus. Busier than any of us still holding full-time jobs, he was committed, effective, clear about what he could and would, by his own standards, should contribute to the causes that he cared for, the world and people he cared for. Why do you come, John? In all kinds of weather, when you're well and when you're not, when you like the guest speaker and when you know you won't, why do you come every Sunday? I asked him not long before he died. His answer was straightforward, just like the man himself. I come, he said, because somebody might miss me if I didn't. He said it in a way not arrogant at all, but generously and honestly. He was the kind of person who saw it as his duty and his privilege to welcome newcomers on Sunday morning. Not because he needed more friends himself. If he did it not because he wanted to evangelize the visitors or grow the church. On the contrary, he loved and missed the small congregation he joined in 1955. He felt a little lost with so many new faces, a little sad at all the changes. He greeted people as they came and steered them toward the minister, the coffee pot, the Sunday school, the guest book, the pledge cards, the sign-up sheets, because he felt it was the right and only thing to do. When people come into your home, you welcome them as if nothing in that moment matters more. He worked hard on Sunday mornings. He got up Sundays expecting to work hard to make others feel at home. He came with that in mind, and he was right. After he died, we missed him when he didn't come. And do you know what happened? The Sunday after his memorial service, someone new, someone who'd never met John Eric and now would never have the chance, walked right in and sat down in his empty place in that front row. A whole family just sat right down as if they owned the place, as if they had every right to be there, as if we were glad to see them. 2 women new to town and their toddler and their baby. They came hoping there was room, and John himself would have been delighted.
Made us free, and the Spirit's gracious power, the good that yet shall be, right the path before us lies. Joyful pilgrims, now we rise.
This is Larry Werner. My wife and I are 25-year members of UUCA, my wife, Terri. Our story is similar to many who find UUCA and stay. 25 years ago, my wife, Terri, and I were searching for a new church in which to raise our sons. We had 2 with 1 on the way at the time. Terri was raised Catholic in Minnesota, and I Lutheran in Wisconsin. We both knew that we wanted a church community in our lives to help raise our children. We also knew what we didn't want in such a community. I was active duty Air Force, and we did not have any family in the area. We were looking for our village. A friend suggested UUCA, so we decided to check it out. And we have been coming back ever since. We joined for our children and stayed for us. UUCA is our village and our family. Our children are now on their own and creating families of their own. UUCA helped reflect the values we wanted our children to have. In today's electronic world, that is a huge thing. One of our children recently stated they couldn't imagine not growing up UU. My most memorable experiences at UUCA all revolve around family. Our own and our extended UUCA family. Terri and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary by renewing our vows right here at UUCA in the Memorial Garden. Reverend John officiated, and our UUCA family showed up big time. They created and participated in a wonderful and meaningful ceremony for us. I will never forget it. Terri and I are entering a new phase in our lives, retirement. Many decisions about that retirement had to be made. Where do we want to live? What kind of house do we want to live in? And a lot more. We very quickly realized that UUCA is so important in our lives, we decided to stay in Maryland for our retirement. Not only that, when we decided to look for a house to live in retirement, we told our realtor to only look for homes within a 45-minute drive of UUCA. UUCA is our family. We celebrate together. We mourn together. We learn together and we evolve together. It is not always pleasant, but what family doesn't experience a bump or two in the way? UUCA and its members and staff are always there to support you. We can't wait to see this family again in person.
When Bill and I married in 1963, we had left the faiths of our childhood, Church of the Nazarene in his case, and Catholic in mine. When we decided to adopt a child, we understood that agencies preferred prospective parents who were members of a faith community. So we started going to the Baltimore Unitarian Church. By the time 2 years later that we were able to adopt our daughter Joni, we had also decided that we were indeed Unitarians and had found the Annapolis Church. We jumped right into church activities and soon found ourselves leading the youth group called the LRY at that time, and involved in the many activities of our small church: social, educational, community service, fundraising, etc. When your church is small, you feel compelled to participate in everything you feel is worthwhile so that it won't fail for lack of volunteers. I started singing in the choir and chaired the calling tree. Bill was finance officer and was one of a group of men that slept at the Lighthouse shelter before they had outdoor staff, overnight staff, that is. We both went on many hikes with the Outdoors Club. A friend and I started a covenant group, and I was an original member of the Fiber Arts Fellowship. When in 2010, Kathleen Para asked for a quilter to help with a theme banner, I volunteered and have been quilting some of the theme banners ever since. Our faith journeys have led us both to atheism. And I believe that is our church that gave me the strength to acknowledge that to myself and also to others. Bill has no such reluctance to challenge conventional beliefs. I continue to love singing in the choir, and we both cherish the many friends that we have made here over the years. We have no regrets about that decision we made 50 years ago. We have been given much to think about and much to cherish.
Let's rest for a moment. Let us rest for a moment to absorb with awareness and gratitude our shared lives, the privilege of living alongside one another, whether that alongside was in person or virtual. We are one community. There's a great privilege to getting to be part of congregational life, of knowing and being known, of having the opportunity to see others develop and unfold into their better selves, of being held with grace and kindness when you are unfolding and stumbling your way forward towards your better self. This is a community where I look forward to being able to bless you. One of my favorite moments this entire past year was the backpack blessing that we did an in-gathering Sunday, where I greeted all the learners of all ages and blessed their backpacks and pencils and laptops and whatever means they were using to represent their year of learning ahead. A year of learning in which they've had to be resilient and courageous. I look forward to blessing our youth into adulthood and to blessing our coming of agers who are making that transition from being a child to truly being a youth. I look forward to helping you share the sacramental vows of marriage and of holding your hand and telling you of all the things you did well, of all the ways you lived our covenant as you were in your last weeks of life. I look forward to holding your babies and blessing them and inviting you to enter into their lives as a village of love and support and witness. These are big moments of blessing, but we bless each other each and every day. The stories you've heard today are stories of blessing, little b blessings, when you have taken the time to show up in mind and body and spirit. When you have been shown up for, when people came to you in mind and body and spirit to celebrate your joys with you or bear your sorrows and burdens. We bless each other, and by blessing each other, we become the beloved community.
At this time, we ask for your financial offering as we share the plate today with the Annapolis Immigration Justice Network. Since 2017, the AIJN has connected asylum seekers and other vulnerable immigrants to legal counsel and other support services, walking alongside those who need help navigating the complex immigration process. UUCA members voted to back the AIJN, a 2021 winner from the Anne Arundel County Community Support Grants Program. Kindly take advantage of this week's QR code. Scan the on-screen code with your mobile camera, tap the notification link that appears, and take it from there. My husband Randy and I never miss an opportunity to support UUCA and our worthy Share the Plate partners. We converted to autopay, and you can too by going to uuannapolis.org, selecting the Giving tab, choosing Share the Plate, and following the simple prompts. Thank you for doing as much as you can.
When we walk, when we sleep, when we rise, we
Thank you all for attending our service this morning. And thank you all who shared their membership reflections. We so value each of our members, and you're what makes us special.
Thank you all. I'm getting some coffee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good.
Everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Have a good day, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Lovely service.
Yeah.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Lovely.
Hearing from members reminds us all about why we're here.
Amen.
For all the good stuff and some of the difficult stuff too.
You're going to be invited to breakout rooms now if you want to join.
50 years.
No rush.
Because we have.
We wish you all just such a wonderful Sunday.
And to you too.
Bye.
Ken, are you in Utah? Caroline?
Just got back.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How was your hike?
Many hikes.
Many hikes.
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.